sekali.
Thank you
Fantastic.
banget,
I
Pak.
saw your event ini, rangkaian dari eventnya bagus-bagus banget ya. Tadi ada Alex Chandra dari BPL Lestari juga
Iya.
gitu ya, sebagai salah satu guest speaker. Keren, keren, keren. It's very nice. Fantastic.
Oke, sebelum kita bincang-bincang lagi nih ya, Marta pengen tahu nih, sebelum kita membahas tentang leadership in crisis itu ya, tema pada malam hari ini, boleh dong asal mulanya Pak James Gui ini kan adalah berkebangsaan Singapura gitu ya. Dan setahu Marta udah menetap 30 tahun di Indonesia. Itu gimana sih, apa sih yang terbesit di pikiran Pak James untuk menetap di sini dan bisa sukses seperti sampai sekarang gitu? Boleh diceritain?
That's a very long story. Kalau saya cerita itu sesi 1 jam kita udah selesai. Karena itu riwayat 30 tahun kan. So it is a very long time, one thing led to another ya. Jadi intinya adalah saya punya lembaga kursus komputer dulu di Singapura. That was in 1985 ya, dan 88 ya, 86, 88. Terus 1988 saya ada franchisee dari Jakarta yang mau beli franchise saya, maka saya datang ke Indonesia in 1988 untuk gandengin franchisee saya. Ya, and after that one thing led to another. Saya lihat potential di Indonesia bagus, dan 1994 saya banting setir jadi trainer dan pembicara seminar. Dan since 1994 sampai sekarang sudah 26 tahun, puji Tuhan, sebagai trainer and seminar speaker tetap berjalan. Jadi saya ketemu passion saya di sana. Dan leadership is one of the topics that I'm very passionate in. Ya, jadi saya ada 2 topik yang saya suka. Satu adalah sales, definitely, ya, leadership, dan saya suka banget bantu orang, ajar orang public speaking. Ya, jadi these are my 3 areas of passion. Ya, saya bawa training in all kinds of topics of managerial skills and all that. But my 3 areas of passions are selling, leadership, and public speaking. Ajar orang public speaking. Ya, that's it. Ya.
Siap. Menginspirasi banget. Dan ini mau ada slide ya, katanya Pak James ya?
Yes. Saya akan share
boleh.
slide-nya. Ya.
Silahkan,
so,
Pak James.
Get ready to screenshot aja ya. Ya. Oke. Langsung mulai?
Yes, boleh.
Langsung mulai. Oke.
Yeah.
Here we go. Ya, oke. Let's see now. How do I get to the full screen? Yep. Oke ya. Langsung saya share the screen ya. Oh ya, first things first, selalu saya mulai dengan slide ini ya. Untuk teman-teman yang belum follow Instagram saya, please follow my Instagram ya. It's @JamesGui ya. Follow my Instagram, it's @JamesGui. And I see my good friend here, Pak Alex Chandra is also here. Wow.
Selamat malam Pak Alex, sudah bergabung.
Beberapa hari yang lalu saya undang beliau sebagai guest speaker in my seminar ya. Hari ini beliau hadir lagi. Mantap. Oke. Okay, so please follow my Instagram at your leisure. Okay, at your leisure ya. Okay, langsung kita mulai bicara tentang topik ini. Please, in your mind, kalau ada kertas tulis, kalau nggak ada kertas, in your mind aja. Kalau gadget ketik aja. Name 5 leaders you admire. Of course, you don't have to tell me. Yeah, you don't have to tell me. Just in your mind or on a piece of paper. Who are the 5 leaders you admire? Whoever, siapa aja ya. Leader orang Indonesia, outside of Indonesia, masih hidup atau sudah meninggal dunia, di arena politik, business, spiritual, whatever. Okay, ya. Orang yang kita kenal personally atau sosok yang kita kagumi dari jauh, whoever. Okay, silakan. Name 5 people, 5 leaders whom you admire. Okay, no right, no wrong. Setiap orang pasti punya pilihan tersendiri ya. Nah, berdasarkan catatan Anda, nanti kita akan bahas. Oke, ya. Silakan tulis nama dari 5 pemimpin yang Anda kagumi. Ya. Siapa aja, pemimpin politik, pemimpin bisnis, whoever they can be. Alright? Yes. Dah. Oke. Right, sudah ya. Good. My question is this. Okay. Anda kagumi mereka karena knowledge-nya mereka. Anda admire mereka karena skill-nya mereka. Atau Anda admire mereka karena karakternya mereka. Okay. So, as census ya, can you please send by chat? Anda admire 5 orang itu, rata-rata karena knowledge-nya mereka, skill mereka, atau karakter mereka. Okay, character. Thank you. Character. Yeah, character. And this is what JCI is all about, right? Okay, JCI is all about, yeah. So, it is this character that we want to develop kan ya. And then, kita sudah common, we all share the same common consensus that yang kita kagumi dari seseorang, yang kita akui sebagai an amazing leader adalah the character of that individual. Okay, so character of a person, especially in a leadership position, is more important than the knowledge and the skills of that person. Betul kan? Kita sepakat ya. Karena at a very high level of leadership, knowledge itu kita bisa delegate kok. Betul kan? Knowledge kita bisa delegate. Indeed, you don't need to know everything and you can't know everything. Betul kan? So knowledge itu can be delegated. Ya. Skill itu pun at a certain level, skill also bisa didelegated. Ya. What we probably need are a few skills aja. Ya, most importantly, people skills. That's all. Once you have good people skills, everything can be handled by people more competent than us kok. Yeah, more knowledgeable than us. Yeah, so the strength that we all admire of a leader is in the character. Okay, jadi ini yang harus kita ingat ya. Leading in crisis is not about knowledge. Leading in crisis is not about skills. Leading in crisis is about your strength of your character that your people look up to kan. Yeah, okay. So ini menarik sekali ya. So we don't have to know too much. Yeah. So this is quite comforting. Kita nggak perlu tahu terlalu banyak ya. And indeed kita nggak ada all the answers. Okay. But kita agree that it is a strength of character that is most important that yang anak buah kita lihat kita. Ya, strength of character. Okay. So let's move on. Ya, okay. Tuh dan sepakat ya. Without knowing what you are going to say, saya sudah siapkan slide-nya ya. Leaders are admired for the strength of character. The leaders are admired for their strength of character. Ya, that's number one lah. Number one, okay? Tapi obviously strength of character nggak cukup karena at the end of the day in a crisis like this, orang perlu solution kan? Orang perlu solution, ya. So, where do we go from here? So, nah, ini dia. Ini yang paling menarik, okay? In times of uncertainty, leaders must give hope. Ini paling penting. Leaders must give hope. Okay? Hope itu apa? Hope itu adalah bukan I know the answer, bukan, ya, because in an uncertainty, probably nobody knows the answer. Betul kan? We don't know answer. We are in COVID for the first time in our lives. None of us in this room, nor on this earth, has ever faced COVID before. Betul ya? So we don't know the answer. But we give hope. How? Let's try this, let's try that, let's try this, let's try that. Jadi sebagai seorang leader, kita nggak boleh blank gitu loh. Kita satu, nggak boleh blank. Kedua, nggak boleh panik. Oke, walaupun dalam hati deg-degannya setengah mati. Duit cukup nggak ya? Bisa cover nggak ya? Tapi you cannot show panic. Okay, you can share with them your concern. Yes, kita bisa sharing dengan tim kita our concern. Kita bisa sharing dengan tim kita our worry. Boleh, ya. Tapi nggak boleh kasih lihat dua hal. Satu, gua nggak tahu. Kedua, gua panik. Apalagi sudah panik, bikin orang panik, semua orang panik, dia tanya, gimana Pak? Kita bilang nggak tahu, buset, sudah bikin semua orang panik, nggak tahu lagi. Oke, ya. Itu paling parah, ya. Jadi, kalau nggak tahu, minimal jangan bikin orang panik. Betul ya, oke. So, that's step one lah, because when kalau orang panik, everything goes crazy. Ya kan? All kinds of issues, all kinds of gossip muncul, karena orang panik. Ya, jadi tenang aja, buat orang tenang, okay? So in times of uncertainty, leaders give hope. Ya, okay, easy to say, but how to do kan? Ya, jadi hari ini, malam ini saya akan sharing lah dengan teman-teman based on real case study, how leaders in very difficult situations give hope. Ya, okay? Jadi bukan hanya slogan-slogan, tapi real case study, ya. Nah, ini menarik sekali dari buku John Maxwell. Ini quote-nya yang berkaitan dengan hope. Where there is no hope in the future, there is no power in the present. Gila loh kalimat ini. Ya, simple banget, tapi yuk kita bedah satu persatu ya. Where there is no hope in the future, there is no power in the present. Show me a person or group of people who have no faith in the future, and I'll show you a people who don't have the energy to live today. Okay? Interesting ya. Jadi, you see, you and I know, at the end of the day, leaders kan have energy. Ya, dan dia transfer energi itu ke timnya kan. Tapi energi itu di mana? Energi itu dari hope. Kalau seorang leader sudah hopeless, berarti tidak ada energi. Kalau nggak ada energi, jangan jadi leader lagi. Minggir aja. Kasih ke orang lain yang punya ide, ada punya hope. Oke? Karena kalau nggak ada energi, mati semua. Kalau nggak ada energi, lemas. Kalau nggak ada energi, lemas. Kalau lemas, nggak ada gerakan. Kalau nggak ada gerakan, nggak ada kemajuan. Kalau nggak ada kemajuan, mati beneran. Okay, yeah. So you must give some hope so that with this hope ada energy, ada gregetnya. Okay, this COVID, yeah, I think we all experience this together. Yeah, waktu awal COVID, dan nantilah kita bahas lah ya tentang berikutnya. Okay, nah so in a nutshell ini kan ya. Tapi hope itu harus mulai dari reality. Hope itu harus mulai dari reality. Okay, being hopeful is one thing. But menghayalkan does not help. Ya, menghayal, ya, hope for the best, wishful thinking. Wishful thinking does not help. Okay, kita harus move forward sebagai leader. Kita harus move forward based on reality. Ya, based on reality. Okay, dan ini ada satu quote yang saya suka banget. Setiap kali kalau ada kesempatan saya share dengan teman-teman dari Jack Welch. I'm sure you know who Jack Welch is lah ya. He was voted the best CEO of the 20th century. Ya, and in one of his books, ya, Jack Welch bilang face reality. Kita mulai dari hari ini di sini, okay? Face reality. The art of leadership comes down to one thing. Seni memimpin ujung-ujung satu, yaitu menghadap kenyataan lalu bertindak secara jelas dan tegas dan cepat-cepat, quickly, atas berdasarkan kenyataan itu. Atas kenyataan itu, okay? And every time I do a survey, ya, saya sudah bawa event ini, ya, Zoom event since 30th of May. Ini sudah termasuk Zoom event saya yang kayak ke-30-an, ke-40-an kalau nggak salah ya, okay? Dan berapa? Ke-40-an, 50-an ya, okay? Dan total jumlah orang yang sudah ikut Zoom training saya sudah hampir mendekati 15,000 orang. Okay, ya. Now, what happened? How did I switch it? Yeah, based on this. Yeah, leaders face reality. Okay. Nah, setiap kali saya bawa training untuk kasih semangat kepada mereka dan sebagainya supaya dia can adapt dan sebagainya. Thank you, Rosa. Adalah saya tanya mereka di chat. Okay, kira-kira menurut Anda bulan kapan kita akan keluar dari pandemik COVID ini, work from home, sell from home, everything from home, and back to normal before COVID era. Pokoknya, when will this COVID end and we can return to our normal lives? Yeah, back to office, keluar kota, yeah, seminar ke Bali, and so on. Okay, yeah. When can COVID end? Okay, dan bulan kapan misalnya, ya. Dan saya minta mereka ketik di chat. Jawabannya bervariasi banget. Ya, jawabannya Juni, Juli, Agustus, September, Oktober, November, Desember, Januari 2001, Maret 2001 dan sebagainya. Oke, ya. So bervariasi sekali. Oke. Nah, jadi saya bilang kepada mereka, you see, the month in which you think COVID will end, itu akan menentukan how serious you are while working from home. Betul? Kalau orang-orang yang bilang COVID bulan Juni selesai, orang-orang yang bilang COVID Juni selesai, gua jamin, lu nggak akan putar otak, pikirkan cara baru, you will not invest so much time and effort to think of new ways. You will just be floating and make buying time because you feel that by June we will be back. So untuk apa kita pusing-pusing? Pikirin cara baru lah, rombak lah, inilah, itulah, bangun strategic idea yang baru lah, bangun alternative business lah, alternative distribution channel lah. You won't do that. Why? Because it's only 1 month away. Why do we do all these things? Betul kan ya? So if you think it's 1 month away, you will be just floating another 1 month of holiday and then back to work. Tapi untuk kita-kita yang anticipate December, baru back to normal, I'm sure our sense of urgency berbeda kan? I'm sure kita akan bilang, gila gua nggak mungkin ngambang 9 bulan ini. 1-2 bulan gua masih bisa ngambang. 9 bulan sampai Desember ngambang. Bisnis gua jadi apa? Omset seperti apa? Kita bisa karatan. Betul kan ya? Okay? So you see, dan Pak Alex waktu saya tanya, Pak Alex bilang, ya his original prediction was 24 months malah. Okay, 24 months. And if your projection is 24 months, you don't do something, you got to be crazy, right? Okay? So you see, the further away our expectation, the more serious we will be. But the nearer it is, the more relaxed we will be. Betul kan ya? Okay? Itu poin pertama. Poin kedua, saya tanya mereka, Anda ini pasang Juni, Juli, Agustus, itu berdasarkan fakta yang nggak tahu sumbernya mana, yang bilang normal. Betul kan? Ya. Jadi saya tanya, Anda punya prediksi berdasarkan apa? You see, so the point is, make decisions based on reality. Make decisions based on facts. Not make decisions based on hope. I mean, I plan December baru kita back to normal. Okay? I anticipate karena saya ada fakta-faktanya, karena saya dengar pidato dari Perdana Menteri Singapura Lee Hsien Loong, dan dia bilang, in March he says, this COVID will not go away very quickly. We are looking at 6 months to 1 year. In March he said that. 6 months to 1 year. So berarti between September to March next year. So gue pilih yang tengah lah, Desember lah. Oke, saya pilih yang tengah Desember. Oke, jadi nggak mungkin Juni, Juli, Agustus. Forget it lah, don't dream. I hope for the best. I hope tomorrow somewhere out of the blue somebody says, makan Panadol immune to COVID loh. Oke, problem solved. Betul ya? Tapi I plan for the worst. Hope for the best, plan for the worst. Okay, so what's your reality? What's your reality about COVID? Okay, what's your reality about your situation? What's your reality about the mindset, behavior, motivation level, capability of your team? What's your reality? What's your reality about when are we going to get out of this COVID? What's the reality? Based on that reality, based on that fact, then you make decisions. Make decisions on solid foundation. Don't make decisions on shifting sand. Betul kan? Ya. But if you make decisions on shifting sand, it will collapse. It will collapse. Okay? So, where is your source of information? And on that, you make your decision. Okay, ya? So, ini kalimatnya simple banget, tapi very powerful. Okay? Very powerful. Face reality. Maka pertanyaan saya is not the content. Pertanyaan saya adalah, where is your source of reality? Kalau source of reality-nya unreliable, ya forget it kan ya. And that is the advantage of being in JCI, because you can get extremely reliable sources of information. Okay? Jadi kita-kita ini paling tidak layak bilang nggak tahu. Kita ini paling tidak layak berspekulasi. Kita ini paling tidak layak menghayalkan. Karena kitalah di JCI yang paling dekat dengan source of the most reliable information. And you can cross-check globally. Betul kan? You can cross-check globally. So you check all the facts and then you average it out. That probably is it. Betul kan ya? Okay? So, That's what a leader is. Number one, he has to give hope. Of course, he has to give hope. Tapi dia nggak bisa give hope based on blind faith kan. Dia harus ada faktanya, harus ada dasarnya. Nah, dari dasar itulah teman-teman, barulah next step. Berdasarkan what we have, what we don't have, itu realitinya. What we have to fight, what we don't have to fight, baru kita see the possibilities kan, yang memungkinkan. So basically hope is there kan. Hope is when reality plus possibility equals hope kan. Reality without possibility, no hope. Betul kan ya? Reality without possibility, no hope. Okay? Possibility without reality, dreaming. Betul kan? So, we people like you and I, yeah, who are slightly more rational, yeah, have this ability to face reality and then see possibility. Okay, face reality udah tahu ya. Face reality kita tahu lah, source-nya di mana lah, ya. Okay. Now, the question is this. Kita juga manusia facing COVID for the first time in our lives, yeah. Do leaders always have the answers? No. No. We don't always have the answers. But the problem is our people expect us to always have the answer kan. Kalau Bapak nggak tahu, siapa lagi yang tahu? Betul kan? Itu tuntutannya. Ya. Jadi if you we don't always have the answer, sedangkan we have to give answer, then what can we do? Ah, ini menariknya di sini. Okay? We go to this case 9/11. Ya, 9/11 in the year 2011 ya, 2001 ya, 2001 ya, 2001 ya, 9/11. Okay? Twin Towers. We all remember that incident lah. Ya. We all remember that incident. And ini waktu itu New York was hit, the whole of the USA was shaken. George Bush just became president. Okay, so he has never faced a crisis like this in his life. Gak pernah. Okay, dia mau tanya, dia punya hopeng waktu itu Tony Blair. Tony Blair pun bilang, lu ngaco, gua pernah kayak gini, gua nggak pernah juga kayak gini, London nggak pernah dibom kayak gini, gua pernah tahu. Betul kan ya? Jadi dia nggak tahu answernya loh. Dia nggak tahu. Okay? Dia sebagai President of USA nggak tahu what to do. Dan dia punya advisor kanan kiri depan belakang pun nggak tahu. They've never experienced this in modern American history. Betul kan? Right? And the mayor of New York at that time, you know, was Rudolph Giuliani kan? Rudy Giuliani kan? Now, dia juga nggak pernah face a situation where sebagai wali kota, kotanya dibom. Coba dia tanya semua wali kota yang ada di Amerika, what to do? They say, I don't know. My city has never been bombed before. Betul kan ya? So, nobody knew the answer. But as the mayor of New York, he had to come up with an answer. It was crisis. And New York itu, you and I know, is the economic jantungnya USA. Okay, that's why Al-Qaeda hit New York. Okay, because it's the economic hub. They went from Mumbai and then they went to New York. Betul kan? Okay, the economic hub. See, so kalau New York collapse, USA semangatnya drop. So the whole of USA was looking at New York. That means, and the whole world was looking at the USA. Okay, can you imagine? The whole world was looking at the USA, the whole USA looking at New York. So practically the whole world was looking at New York. Okay, and then New York was down to this guy, Rudolph Giuliani. That means the whole world was looking at Rudy Giuliani. What is this man going to do? Put yourself in his shoes. Shit, what to do? Betul kan ya? Right? So, ini ceritanya. In the middle of all that, the world expected a response from him. Dia nggak tahu gimana. Gue mau tanya, siapa in modern history among our allies? Nobody had any experience. Mau tanya the French president juga nggak tahu. Mau tanya the German president juga nggak tahu. Nobody knew. Okay, so di study roomnya, dia duduk, dia lagi pikir, dan dia tanya, pemimpin siapa, which leader in history pernah mengalami kotanya dibom? which leader in history pernah mengalami kotanya dibom? Dan dia teringat, dia pernah baca satu buku by Winston Churchill. Winston Churchill waktu dia berjabat sebagai Perdana Menteri, London kan dibom habis-habisan oleh the Germans kan, the Blitz of London kan, the London Blitz kan, and he remembered, oh yeah, I read that, and Winston Churchill responded brilliantly. He responded brilliantly. He motivated the whole of the English people, and they rose and fought despite the adversity, despite the fact that mereka kalah jauh sama Jerman. Dari segi SDM-nya, dari segi teknologinya, mereka kalah jauh. Tapi mereka bisa bangkit dan surprise the Germans. So jadi saya bisa belajar dari siapa namanya, Winston Churchill. Maka dia kerap bukunya, dia carilah bukunya Winston Churchill. Dan bukunya The Finest Hour. Of course, in the movie kan The Darkest Hour. The movie kan The Darkest Hour. Dan peran Winston Churchill. Nah, obviously saya nggak usah putar videonya, tapi ada quote-nya lah. Ada quote-nya which you can always go and check for YouTube. So ini, this was his speech that Winston Churchill made to the English people through Parliament. Waktu itu radio, belum ada TV. Jadi seluruh warga Inggris itu nempel kupingnya di radio, dan dia pidato. Victory at all costs, victory in spite of all terror, victory however long and hard the road may be, for without victory there is no survival. That was one speech from Winston Churchill. Right? And then obviously they galvanized everybody. We will fight them in the air, we will fight them in the sea, we will fight them in the battlefields. We will never give up. That was another famous speech, by Winston Churchill. Oh yeah, so I need to make speeches. I need to make speeches to motivate and inspire my New Yorkers. Dan Winston Churchill buat keputusan yang menantang, yang ditantang oleh anggota parlimen semua. Ditantang oleh anggota parlimen semua. They all said, you got to be crazy, just surrender. You see, just surrender. Dan Winston Churchill bilang, kita nggak boleh surrender, karena we are the British Empire, dan kita punya colony all over the world loh. Jadi it's not only about England, it's not only about Britain, it's about our colonies. India, Singapore, Malaysia, the Falkland Islands, Canada, betul kan ya? Mana lagi? Australia, New Zealand. When the British Empire collapsed, all those will go under Nazi. All those will go under Nazi. We cannot surrender. Wah, tapi mereka bilang, lu udah gila, lu mau lawan Jerman. Yang lain semua udah kalah, lu mau lawan Jerman. Bodoh amat, kita harus lawan. Nanti kita bahas, ada videonya, ada videonya, So dia fight against the odds loh, dia lawan, and obviously at the end of it, England won lah, That's why they called it their finest hour. Kita yang leader mesti nonton film-film kayak gini lah, mesti nonton film kayak ini, Amazing loh, amazing. Just the last few pilots, the last few aeroplanes, the last few aircraft carriers defeated Adolf Hitler because of only one thing. Only one thing. Never give up. Padahal sudah tinggal nafas terakhir. Never give up. Bayangin ya, pilot Jerman dari Jerman nyebrang English Channel, bom London, pulang ke Jerman, refill pesawat, loading bom, ganti pilot, pergi ke London, bom lagi, balik, refill pesawat, refill bom, ganti pilot. Ganti melulu, setiap shift ganti pilot. Inggris, satu pilot itu pergi ke Jerman, bom, balik, refill pesawat, refill bom, pilot yang sama pergi lagi. Kenapa? Nggak cukup pilot. Nggak cukup pilot. Bolak-balik pilot yang sama. Sampai udah mau teler, pilot yang sama. Sampai Jerman bilang, gila Inggris ini pilotnya banyak banget ya. Sampai gila yang kepala, udah dah nggak sanggup. Satu pilot itu mondar-mandir sampai mau teler itu. Tapi kenapa? Karena they were so demotivated by the leader. We will never give up. Keren banget. Nah, itulah Does he know the solution? No, he didn't know the solution. He's a politician. He's not a military general. He's not. But he just gives one thing. Give them hope. Give them hope. Okay? Crazy, yeah? Nah, so Rudy Giuliani got the inspiration. He got the inspiration. Maka, dia juga lawan penasehatnya. Kan after the bombing, there was supposed to be a Yankees game at the Yankee Stadium. I mean, you know, the New Yorkers are crazy about the New York Yankees. Betul kan ya? Ya. Jadi, apakah lanjut gamenya atau membatalkan gamenya? Semua ada resiko. Semua orang bilang ke dia, sir, you cannot have that game. Because if all of New York is there and Al-Qaeda bombs the stadium, we are double dead, you know. Dead sudah dead sekali, udah double dead ini. Okay ya. Double deadnya bukan D-A-T-E, kencan. Tapi double deadnya mati 2 kali. Okay ya, double dead. Okay. So, dia pertimbangkan, dia bilang, enggak boleh. Yankees match ini adalah the soul of New Yorkers. And if we cancel the Yankees game, it's going to demotivate them. The Yankees game is the game, the place that we can motivate them. Okay? And so he went ahead with the Yankees game. And in the Yankees game, the mayor of New York showed up. The mayor of New York showed up with a Yankee cap. And he gave this speech. To those who say that our city will never be the same again, I say you are right. We will be better. Wah, satu kalimat singkat kayak gini, the whole stadium roared. Hey, gitu ya. Okay, you see, he has no answer. He has no answer. He just gave them hope. He just gave them hope. Betul ya? Yankee game will continue. We will face Al-Qaeda in the face and say we will not give up to your terror. Okay, Yankee game continue. Those of you who say New York will never be the same again, I agree with you. We will be damn bloody better. Okay, right? And they, this is my mayor. Yeah, okay. Problem solved. Yeah, okay. So just give them hope. How? I don't know. Let's hope first. Betul kan ya? How? I don't know. But let's have hope. Gitu kan? With all the ideas, kalau no hope juga percuma. So, after this, my friends, after this, what are you going to do if you have not done already? What are you going to do to gather your team to give them hope? Okay, what are you going to do? Ya, kita ini at this level, gaji dipotong setengah juga survive kok. Right? Tapi teman-teman kita ada sebagian gaji dipangkas separuh, lagi ngap-ngapan itu. Okay, so what are you going to do? That and after COVID, I know you and I are thinking of reorganizing our organization. We are reorganizing. This COVID is a slap in our face, and we have been lazy for too long. This COVID has been a slap in our face, and suddenly we realize many functions not necessary kan. Suddenly kita realize a lot of streaming down to do kan. Suddenly kita realize banyak yang perlu dirombakkan dan bisa dirombakkan. Okay? Nah, kita tahu, kita excited about the change. Kita excited about the improvement. Tapi tim kita galau loh. Tim kita galau loh. Balik dari COVID, gua masih ada pekerjaan enggak ya? Betul kan? Dia masih galau nih. Gaji sudah dipangkas separuh, kondisi galau lagi. Okay? So what hope are you going to give them in the time that they need hope? In the time that they need hope. Okay? Yeah, think about that. Yeah, think about that. Yeah. So ini quote-nya yang dia dapat dari inspired by Winston Churchill. Yeah. Cool. Next, apa lagi yang kita bahas? Nah, so the question then is this, right? The question is, what do leaders do in uncertain times? Betul nggak? Kan leading in crisis. Sekarang masa tidak kepastian. What they do is, because they don't have the answers, they have no experience, they study other leaders who have led in similar times and succeeded. Menarik sekali. Simple, right? Nah, hold on ya. Kita lanjut ya. Dari bukunya, I love this sentence. I love this quote. That's why I share with you this quote, okay? Dari John Maxwell. Yeah, quality 21 indispensable qualities of a leader. This is so beautiful. Just imagine, imagine Rudolph Giuliani sitting in his study room at night, reading a book about Winston Churchill. Okay? One leader to another. This is what it means. It's a bright magic at work. When one great leader goes into the past and finds another leader waiting to guide him. Wow. My friend, this is you. There is a bright magic at work when one great leader like you goes into the past and finds another leader waiting to guide you. Wow. You are not alone, you know. You don't have to be alone. Right? So, I mean, it's a different crisis. It's a pandemic, right? We don't know the answer. But many leaders in the past have faced all kinds of issues. Go read. Read autobiographies of leaders. Okay? Pergi baca John Evans. John Evans yang memimpin Chrysler. Ya. No, John Evans yang memimpin Jaguar. Ya. Lee Iacocca pimpin Chrysler. Ya, Lee Iacocca pimpin Chrysler. Chrysler was on the brink of bankruptcy. He turned around. He turned Chrysler around. Jaguar was on the brink of bankruptcy. John Evans turned Jaguar around. Okay, these are all leaders in crisis. Ya, mau baca local case, baca Robbie Johan punya case, Bank Mandiri kan. Kalau tak salah Robbie Johan punya case Bank Mandiri. He turned Bank Mandiri. No, he did not turn Bank Mandiri around, but he merged. He got the 6 or 7 banks, right? Pak Alex knows better lah ya. He got those 6 banks. Bank Exim lah, bank inilah, bank itulah gabung dengan 6 bank dengan budaya yang beraneka ragam dengan orang yang sudah buang ke laut pun terlambat. Itu dijadiin Bank Mandiri yang begitu solid sekarang. What did he do? Okay, go read so that you don't have to panic. Yeah, you have 6 months to read. Please go and read all these books. Okay, get inspired. Yeah, okay, leaders in crisis. Bagus banget ini. So this is okay. Yeah, it's a bright magic at work when one great leader like you goes into the past and finds another leader waiting to guide him. Oh, so cool! I love this one. That's why I never panic. Okay, that's why I never panic, because this is my slogan, my friend. Because this is my slogan. My favorite slogan by Brian Tracy. All the answers have been found. Okay, what I don't know, somebody else knows. What I don't know, somebody else knows. And even if you don't need to go back in history, you turn to your left and turn to your right, somebody among 150 of us has 1 or 2 good ideas. Betul kan? Somebody among the 150 of us has 1 or 2 good ideas that we can use. Problemnya adalah kadang-kadang habis forum kayak gini, bubar masing-masing, pusing masing-masing. Ya, oke. Sedangkan kalau kita ngobrol, bagus juga ya, boleh nih gue pakai ATM lah, adaptasi sedikit, betul ya? Nah, that's the whole idea of this community, right? To share ideas, right? Because we are all intelligent people gitu loh. We are all informed people, and we will not be making stupid ideas, right? Okay. So this is almost the cream of the crop of Jawa Timur. This is the cream of the crop of Jawa Timur, and in one forum. Keren banget loh, ini keren banget. So all the answers have been found among these 150 people. Kan? Seru ya? Enak loh, enak. Jadi, you see, the whole purpose of joining JCI is for a crisis like this, right? In good times, don't tell me what to do. I know what to do. Betul kan ya? The whole purpose of joining JCI is in a crisis like this. Ya, interesting. Okay, all the answers have been found. Ya, dan satu lagi, my friends. Ya, leaders take responsibility. Ya, leaders take responsibility. Ini istilah Medan ya, bohatlah, udahlah, bohatlah. Nasib jadi pemimpin, bohat dah. Mau nggak mau lo harus bertanggung jawab lah. Betul kan? Right? So what is responsibility? Responsibility kan comes from two words. Responsible, responsible, responsible. Responsible means able to give the right response kan? Able to give the right response. So in a crisis like this, you are able to give the right response. Bukan respons yang bikin orang panik, bukan respons yang whatever, tapi respons yang tepat. Jadi orang yang mampu berikan respons yang tepat dibilang responsible. Dan orang yang responsible itu adalah orang yang di-respected. Betul kan? So if you want to be respected, have the ability to give the right response. Okay? Ini menarik sekali. Okay, di sini ya, responsible. Okay? Mana dia? Okay. Tunggu ya. Ini ceritanya. Okay, ini ceritanya ya. You and I know the story. Waktu England sudah babak belur, ya, the Western Allies sudah babak belur by the Germans, kan ya? Okay, Winston Churchill wanted to go to war against the Germans, but the Parliament said no, surrender. Okay, we will surrender. Okay, yeah. So Winston Churchill was so angry with them, he had a dialogue with them. Okay, I will play this video once or twice. Yeah, I hope you can get it. Okay, I will share this video once or twice. Okay, mudah-mudahan bisa dengar. Sekali lagi ya. Oke, sekali lagi ya. Tunggu. Ini putar video ini. Bisa nggak ya? Ya, oke.
When from a lesson they learn, you cannot reason with a tiger when your head is in its mouth. I take full responsibility. Really? Really? Yes, sir. It is the reason I sit in this chair.
Keren ya? Walaupun karena audionya kurang kencang, oke ya. So he said, I take full responsibility. Dan mereka tanya, oh ya, really? He said, really? It is the reason I sit in this chair. Okay, this is the sentence. I shall take full responsibility. It is the reason I sit in this chair. Wow. Okay, leaders are like that. I shall take full responsibility. It is the reason I sit in this chair. You and I sit in this chair for moments like this. You and I sit in this chair for moments like this. And I am quite pleased with myself, honestly. I am quite pleased with myself, yeah. Before COVID hit, my revenue per month was X. After COVID, March, yeah, it was, I just read the numbers, yeah. After COVID in March, yeah, March, yeah. April, okay, April, yeah. April, omset turun by 40%, okay, so I still manage 60%. In May, my revenue this month will be the same as before COVID. My revenue in May equals to revenue of March before COVID. Okay, wah happy banget loh. I'm so pleased with myself. Damn, the ship stayed afloat. The ship stayed afloat, and my revenue of May same as revenue of March before COVID. I'm so proud of myself. Okay, but the amount of work I did just to keep the bloody ship afloat, I work harder than everybody else because it is the time I exist. I have to exist for moments like this. When everybody has no more idea, I have to be the one with the idea. When semua orang lemas, I have to be strong. Leaders are born for moments like this. Okay, so that when you look back, you can say, when everybody was panicking, I was the only one who was staying awake. When everybody didn't know what to do, I was the one showing them what to do. When everybody do not know how to make money, I was the one showing them how to make money. Okay, you and I were born for moments like this. Yeah, leadership. Okay, yeah. Jadi, I'm so happy. That's why I'm so happy talking to you. Yeah, because I lead numbers. Gila, bulan Mei sama dengan sebelum COVID. Okay, we are on track. Okay, yeah. See, I shall take the full responsibility. It is the reason I sit in this chair. Ya, kita ini di tim kita, salary kita termasuk yang paling tinggi. Okay, salary kita termasuk paling tinggi. Sekaranglah kita lunasin. Sekaranglah kita lunasin. Justify that high salary. Justify that high salary. Okay, times like this, they need you. Ya, next. Okay, ini hampir sudah dekat di end ya. Then we ask a question. Okay, my friend, this is a very interesting question. Controversial question. No, the question is not controversial. The answer is controversial. Yeah, Lee Kuan Yew, ex-Perdana Menteri Singapore, was asked a question. According to you, are leaders born or learned? Okay, seorang pemimpin itu lahir aja pemimpin atau bisa dibelajar? Okay, nah ini responsnya. Ada nggak respons? Okay.
Subject you talked about last night. What is it, and it's easy words to use, a leader has to have? And are they qualities you're born with or you learn? If you don't have that natural zest, a desire to do things for other people, not just for yourself and your family, then you can't be a leader. You must have an interest in people. Beyond your own immediate. Beyond your own, and their welfare. You must be able to connect with them. And you must be able to communicate with them. And if you want to last, you can't break faith with them. You break faith, they distrust you, you're out. You can be the best communicator in the world. They are always having that question mark against you. I have lasted because I learned very early on, never say something which I'm not going to do. I don't have to say it, because I'm not going to do it. But if I say I'm going to do it, I have to do it. And they know that, and they're comfortable with me.
Cool. Okay, so are leaders born? Oh man, let's continue ya. Ini dia yang dia bilang, okay? If you don't have that natural zest, the desire to do things for other people, then you can't be a leader. Seorang leader ini adalah melayani orang lain loh. Melayani orang lain. Jadi kalau kamu tidak ada zest itu adalah antusiasmenya, okay? Excitednya to do things for other people. Mau lihat anak buah maju, mau lihat anak buah sejahtera, gitu ya. Then you can be a leader. Okay? Jadi itu natural zest. Maksudnya itu nggak bisa diada-adakan. Nggak bisa diada-adakan. Samalah. If you don't have the natural zest to want to see people improve and grow, then you can't be a teacher, right? Betul nggak? If you don't have the natural zest to want to see people improve and grow, then you can't be a teacher. If you don't have the natural zest to want to see sick people recover, and when they go home you are so happy, you can't be a nurse, right? You can't be a doctor, right? Okay, right? So at the end of it, yes, always money, but money is not everything. But the pleasure comes in somebody saying, thank you, I attended your seminar and now my life has changed. That's the pleasure. Money cannot buy. Okay? And the funny thing is, the guy you teach becomes richer than you. The guy you teach becomes richer than you. Okay? And I'm happy. Okay, that's natural. Nggak bisa change itu. Either you got it or you don't got it. Okay, yeah. So he says, so are leaders born? Are leaders born or made? If you don't have that natural zest, then you can't be a leader. Dan dia ada satu kalimat in another book ya, gila loh dia. Okay, Lee Kuan Yew ini, dia bilang, I have never seen somebody become a leader because he attended a course on leadership. Oke, ini kalimatnya menarik sekali, gamblang banget. Gua nggak pernah lihat seseorang jadi seorang pemimpin gara-gara dia ikut workshop kepemimpinan. Nggak. Dasarnya dia sudah harus punya bibit-bibit kepemimpinan. Ikut workshopnya naik, ikut workshopnya jadi tajam. Berarti ada orang yang memang layak untuk jadi pemimpin. Wibawanya sudah ada. Ada orang, lu kasih dia training seperti apapun, kasih jabatan seperti apapun, kasih wewenang seperti apapun, leadershipnya nggak muncul. Leadershipnya nggak muncul. Oke? Karena wibawa. Ya, leadershipnya nggak muncul. Dan leadership itu paling muncul dalam kondisi ketidakpastian. Oke? Leadership itu paling muncul di ketidakpastian. Ya. Dan itu juga salah satu syarat untuk jadi leader, you must be able to connect, to communicate with your people. Connect and communicate. Okay? And as a result of connect and communicate, they love and trust you. They love and trust you. Okay? They don't tell you they love you. They don't tell you they trust you. But when you ask them to go to battle with you, they will go with you. Okay? They love and trust you. They will protect you. They will cover you. Okay? Yeah? So you must be able to connect. Nah, jadi dia dibilang, kalau lu mau tahan lama sebagai pemimpin, lu nggak boleh sampai mereka nggak percaya lu. If you break faith, jadi kalau you ingkari janji and they distrust you, you are out. You can be the best communicator, but you are out. Okay? Menarik ya? So, ladies and gentlemen, this probably is my answer. How do you lead in crisis? Let's lead in crisis in summary, yeah? By giving hope. How to have hope, reality, and possibility. Yeah, it may not be the right answer. It may not be the right answer. Tapi at least do something gitu loh. Do something. Jangan analisa berminggu-minggu nggak ada gerakan. Some of you sudah coba hal yang baru. Some of you udah ketemu momentum. Some of you masih utak-atik. Tapi ada orang sampai sekarang pun masih ngeluh tentang COVID, kapan selesainya, COVID kapan selesai, nggak bisa ini karena saya nggak bisa itu karena gila kalau 2 minggu, 3 minggu masuk ke COVID masih belum jelas nggak apa-apa. Ini sudah 2 bulan masuk ke COVID masih belum ada action plan. Kemana aja loh, betul nggak? Oke, 2 bulan masuk ke COVID masih belum tahu, masih tunggu. Halo. Ya, oke. So, and kalau lu blank, gua yakin anggota tim lu tambah blank, tambah lemas lagi. Betul ya? Oke ya. Tapi kalau kita coba sama-sama. Ternyata jalan buntu, salah. Yuk, nggak apa-apa, kita coba lagi. Nggak apa-apa. Yang penting ada harapan, ada gerakan. Ya. So, reality, possibility. And bagaimana kita dapat ide dari kita diskusi sama teman-teman di sini atau cari dalam sejarah leader-leader yang alami kesulitan, ya. Pokoknya the point is you are never alone. What you are facing now, what I am facing now, I am facing for the first time perhaps, but no, this is not the first time ya. Seperti Pak Alex bilang, kita ini udah 3 kali lah ketemu krisis at least, betul ya? Oke, kurang lebih sudah relatif kebal, nggak panik lah. Ya, tapi kalau kita bisa flashback, lebih banyak pemimpin-pemimpin di masa dulu, lebih susah lagi. So it's a bright, it's a bright magic when one great leader goes back into the past to find another great leader waiting to guide him. Okay, thank you guys. So we end my presentation here. We still have some time for question and answer. Ya, silakan Anda tanya. Saya akan berusaha jawab sebaik mungkin. Anyway, jawaban saya pasti bisa dilengkapi dengan teman-teman yang punya pengalaman juga. Okay, thanks. Jadi after this, kalau ada 1-2 poin lagi, maybe I can share with you some more. Ya, okay. Yes.
Oke, terima
Ya,
kasih
Udah, that's it.
Pak
Ya,
James.
all the slides have been covered. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Silakan saya serah kembali ke Marta Nia. Marta, silakan
Ya,
Marta.
terima kasih. Ini ada pertanyaan nih dari Nadia Natania. Dear Pak James, I want to ask, I recently read a book by John Maxwell, yang How to Lead When Your Boss Can or Won't. I want to know what your thought on that.
How to lead when?
How to lead when your boss can or won't.
Sorry. How to lead when your boss? Sorry,
Can't.
I have not read the book, so I don't know. I have not read the book yet. Yeah.
Oke, sorry Cie Nadia, di skip ya.
Sorry ya. Sorry, I've not
Ini
read the book.
Ya, ada satu lagi dari Nadia juga.
How to lead when your boss can't
Ya.
or won't. Yeah, okay, thank you. I don't know the contents of the book, but I can share with you some thoughts, okay, later on. Silakan, we skip to this question and we'll come back later, ya. Please remind me to come back later. Silakan, next question, please.
Oke, ini selanjutnya dari Nadia juga. Sebagai leader, bagaimana kita mempunyai work-life balance? As Pak James bilang tadi, we have to work harder than ever pas waktu ini. Tapi gimana untuk work-life balance-nya? Silakan Pak James.
Okay, yeah, alright. So, work-life balance, okay? Very hard to say because your balance and my balance are not the same. Okay, yeah. A woman's role and a man's role kan different. Betul kan ya? Nadia, your balance and my balance different because kalau I spend 90% of my time working, it's okay. But as a wife and a mother, probably working 90% of your time working like me may not be okay. Betul kan? Yeah. So then the question is, what are the components of your balance? Okay, balance itu bisa bilang satu, ya. Balance-nya adalah work atau career. Balance-nya adalah family. Balance-nya juga your health. Balance-nya juga spiritual aspect, betul? So balance, ya. And it's very difficult to balance. You can only balance it when you understand your priority. Okay, you can only balance it when you understand your priority. And you have to understand this sentence. When you say yes to something, you are saying no to something else, right? All right. So be careful what you say yes to because you are saying no to something else. Because our time and energy is limited. Okay, yeah. So that means balance does not mean you have to do all 5 within the same day. It does not mean like that, kan? Balance could be you work for 3 days and then you go and exercise. Or you work for 6 hours but you jog for 1 hour. But that's also balance, kan ya? Okay, I mean you can't be jogging for 6 hours, right? And work for 1 hour. Mau juga nggak memungkinkan. Betul kan? So balance is allocation, making sure. Ya, and of course kalau kita baca Stephen Covey punya 7 Habits, dahulukan yang utama. Jadi menurut Anda yang utama apa? Yang utama apa? Yang utama kesehatan, yang utama karir, yang utama relationship, yang utama your spiritual beliefs. Nah, yang utama itu dijadwalkan dulu. Yang dijadwalkan dulu yang utama. Put that into your calendar first. Put that into your calendar first. And everything else falls around that. Betul kan? Put that into your calendar first and everything else falls around that. Jadi jangan sampai yang nggak penting-penting itu masuk dulu sampai nggak ada waktu dan tenaga tersisa untuk yang penting-penting, kan? Right? So so find what are the components of your balance, yeah, and then decide on the priority and then allocate time for it. I mean, we are not talking about a 1-day time frame. We are talking about a 1-week time frame. Yeah. Within 1 week, I'm sure you can make time for 5 things. Within 1 day, no time. Fair enough. Kalau ada time pun kadang-kadang ada mood. Betul ya? Okay, ya, right? But within 1 week, nggak ada alasan lah. Ya, dalam 1 minggu nggak ada alasan nggak berdoa lah. Okay. Dalam 1 minggu nggak ada alasan olahraga, tidak berolahraga lah. Betul ya? Dalam 1 minggu nggak ada alasan nggak main sama anak lah. Betul kan ya? Oke. Okay? Ada lah dalam 1 minggu. Kalau setiap hari mungkin agak sulit sedikit. Ya, but within a time frame of 1 week, I'm sure it can all be planned out. Okay, yeah. I hope I've answered your question. Now I go back to your first question, ya Nadia. Ya, what to do when your boss can't or won't? Okay, when your boss cannot do it, and when your boss cannot do it, and you can do it, itu ada 2 skenario itu. Itu ada 2 skenario. Satu, bos Anda appreciate Anda. Kedua, bos Anda marah sama Anda. Betul nggak? Tergantung bosnya. Tergantung bosnya. Kalau you mampu, sedangkan dia nggak mampu, dia bisa bilang, untung lu mampu, terima kasih, betul? Untung lu mampu, terima kasih lu sudah selamatin kita. Atau kalau bosnya, jiwanya, citra dirinya nggak sehat, lu mau malu-maluin gua. Betul kan? You want to make me look bad gitu loh. Lu mau gantiin posisi gua. Yang salah kan bukan kita. Yang salah bukan kita. Yang sakit kan dia. Betul nggak? Yang sakit jiwa kurang pede kan dia. Alright? So if your boss can't, again, it's about communicating. Boss, I can actually do this. And we can work out everything. Do you want me to do it? If you want me to do it, I will do it for you. But because you are the boss, remember this, okay? Because he is the boss, kita pun yang kerja, kalau tim kita berhasil, kan di mata atasan dia berhasil. Tapi kalau dia bos, kita gagal, di mata atasan bukan kita yang gagal loh. Si pemimpin yang gagal, betul kan ya? Jadi kalau dia nggak bisa dan kita bisa dan kita capai target, kita berhasil, nama dia kan harum. Oke? Okay? Jadi itu poinnya. So boss, I'm working for this. Let's do this together so that in the eyes of big boss, you are good. Oh gitu ya? Ya udah boleh lah, jalanin lah. Okay, jadi satu. If your boss can't, there are 2 reasons. 2 approach. Number 1, he cannot and he appreciates you who can. He cannot but he's afraid of you who can. Betul ya? Lu harus tahu pendekatannya di mana dulu. Oke? Okay? Walaupun you can, belum tentu orang welcome your help loh. Ya, so you have to be very tactful and sensitive. Okay? Number 2, your boss won't. Your boss can, but he won't. Nah, dia bisa, tapi dia nggak mau. Kita harus mengerti otaknya, kenapa dia nggak mau ya? Mungkin karena dia atasan, dia punya pertimbangan yang berbeda yang kita nggak tahu. Jadi kita harus ngerti pertimbangannya, oke? Okay? Tapi kalau ujung-ujung dia nggak mau, itu hak dia loh. Itu hak dia sebagai seorang atasan. He makes the decision. He makes the decisions and he faces the consequences of his decisions. Your job can be advised, but he makes the decision. One day when you are the manager, or one day when you are in his position, you have the right to make the decision. Right decision, well done. Wrong decision, that's your responsibility. Betul kan ya? Oke, okay? Ya itu dia. Jadi dia punya hak make the decision. Oke, okay? Maka ada satu kalimat yang berkaitan dengan itu, ya berkaitan dengan hope juga, ya. A leader decides. Ini kalimatnya. A leader decides. Sometimes he decides correctly, sometimes he decides wrongly, but always a leader decides. Oke, okay? Ya, menarik ya. A leader decides. Sometimes he decides correctly, sometimes he decides wrongly, but always a leader decides. Maka ada satu kalimat dari Donald Trump waktu dia belum jadi presiden. Satu kalimatnya dia bilang begini, I have never seen a great leader who leads on consensus. I have never seen a great leader who leads on consensus. Oftentimes, the leader will go against everybody. That's what a leader is. Okay? Menarik kan? Dan Anda lihat leader-leader yang hebat semua, kadang-kadang tidak menghirau pendapat kok. Lee Kuan Yew nggak pernah menghirau pendapat. Oke. Rudy Giuliani, semua orang suruh dia batalkan Yankees game, dia tidak menghiraukan pendapat. Betul? Nelson Mandela pakai rugby, the Rugby World Cup untuk mempersatukan rakyat Afrika. Betapa rawan, tahu nggak? Kulit hitam, kulit putih di satu stadium. Ngerinya minta ampun. Tapi dia jadikan itu. Sehingga begitu Afrika Selatan menang Piala Dunia, mendadak Afrika Selatan bersatu. Kulit putih dan kulit hitam saling pelukan. For the first time in South African history, he took the bloody big risk against everybody. That's what a leader is. Okay, menarik ya. Okay guys, thank you so much. Next question please.
Yang selanjutnya ada dari Ko Andri. Boleh silakan nyalakan videonya. Mau tanya langsung nih Pak James.
Oke.
Hi, James Kui. Wah, I'm really
Pak
inspired.
Andri, hai Pak. Bakminya enak ya Pak ya. Sudah buka puasa ya Pak ya.
Iya, habis ini mau makan nih. By the way, I have a question. Can you share a simple tools that you use to track and measure leadership, so we can you can help us as a grow and leadership organization, so we can
a simple what?
Simple tools yang bisa dipakai untuk nge-track, track atau mengukur leadership.
Okay. To measure leadership kan, that we have to identify the qualities that we want to measure kan ya. Okay, qualities that we want to measure. Okay, the general qualities of leadership are basically, people skills, problem solving skills, communication skills. Yeah, those are the three basic kan ya. People skills, communication skills, problem solving skills. These are three basic of leadership. Okay. But I think the more exciting dimension of leadership is the ability to do those three under pressure. Itu excitingnya di sana kan ya? Okay? The true measure of a leader is under pressure kan? Jadi peacetime leader and wartime leader kan beda. Okay ya? Okay. So we have different expectations of a leader, and maka ada yang namanya situational leadership kan ya Pak ya? Ada situational leadership, because some leaders are great under pressure, some leaders just fail under pressure. Betul ya? That's why you see like Winston Churchill, he was the hero during the Second World War. Once England got peace, he was not even voted back into office. Ya kan? So he was a very horrible peacetime prime minister, because dia punya style goes against everybody. In wartime, you need somebody to stand up and say, shut up, just follow me. But in peacetime, that doesn't work anymore. Okay, so it's a situational leadership. So to answer your question, toolsnya, of course, you measure the elements, the components. To me, the most important are the communication skills, people skills and problem solving skills. And the other dimension is how they respond and behave under pressure. Okay, yeah. And pressure can be simulated lah. Pressure can be simulated. How can pressure be simulated? By giving them a little short time kan. The less time they have, the more under pressure they are kan. Jadi you can do tests like this, yeah. And that's why outbound training is a good measure of somebody's leadership skill. Ya, nah di sini saya mau clarify sedikit ya. Banyak perusahaan outbound training itu playing games outside. Okay, playing games is good for bonding, but not good for leadership. Okay, ya. Jadi makanya banyak perusahaan yang kita ada leadership training, tapi games, ya games. Nah, responnya gimana? Oh bagus, seru, sering-sering. Oke, sering-sering. Kalau dia respon sering-sering, itu udah refreshing. Oke, kalau is true leadership training, dia bilang amin, tolong lain kali gua nggak mau lagi. Itu baru leadership. Betul kan ya? Kenapa leadership itu, what kind of, you see, that's why leadership training has to be outdoors. Of course, if We talk about strategic planning is indoors lah. Tapi leadership, character building has to be outdoors. Kenapa? Karena see, a person's true capability or true colors, warnanya muncul kalau under pressure. Okay? Maka kita ada outbound training 2 hari, 3 hari kalau bisa di hutan. Supaya apa? Supaya satu, bikin dia capek. Kedua, bikin dia kekurangan tidur. Ketiga, bikin dia nggak cukup makan. Keempat, bikin dia nggak nyaman. Oke, baju sudah basah, sepatu udah becek, betul ya? Masuk ke sungai, cemplung sampai ke sini, dia udah uncomfortable banget dah. Ya, dia, kaos kakinya udah syak, badannya udah lengket-lengket, banyak nyamuk, kurang tidur, betul ya? Terus harus solve problem, sudah behind schedule, diomelin-omelin dari instruktur, warna aslinya keluar. Warna aslinya keluar. Okay, so leadership training must go through hell. Bahkan dia kalau bilang, seru ya, kapan-kapan kita adakan lagi ya. Bagus ya, itu bukan leadership training. Itu sama seperti ke piknik aja. Okay? Leadership training itu lain kali gua nggak mau. Kalau bisa gua nggak mau. Amit-amit dah. Itu leadership training. Okay? Baru kita bisa lihat karakternya. Nah, di sana kita bisa lihat siapa yang under pressure marah-marah, siapa yang under pressure salahin orang lain, siapa yang under pressure justru rangkul orang lain, cari solusi. Di sana the natural leadership comes out under pressure. Okay, yeah. I hope I've answered your question, even though it was a very long question and probably not very as sharp as you hope for, Pak. Yeah, okay. Thank you. Next question. Thanks, Pak Andri. Thank you. Next.
Terima kasih sudah puas ya Ko dengan jawabannya Ko Andri. Thank you. Selanjutnya ini ada dari Tommy Ming. Tadi Pak James bilang omset bulan Mei bisa kembali seperti sebelum COVID ya. Boleh tahu usaha di bidang apa dan bagaimana caranya? Terima kasih.
Kebetulan usaha saya gampang, ya. Usaha saya gampang sekali, ya. Usaha saya gampang. Usaha saya kan di training, ya, di training, ya. Jadi training ini fortunately more switchable, betul ya, more switchable from offline to online. Gitu aja kan ya, from offline to online. Jadi kebetulan saya, because I responded very quickly, I switched earlier, so I was a bit ahead of everybody else, so I could manage to do it. And because I knew very soon my fellow trainers will catch up with me, maka gue padetin sekaligus, gue lepas 15 topik. Gue lepas 15 topik, sampai trainer-trainer lain WA ke saya bilang, James, lu gila lu James, semua topik kita lu sudah borong. Semua topik kita lu udah borong. Ya udah, karena gue tahu, I know the nature of the market. I know the nature of market. You have to move fast and you have to move fast and furious dah. Pokoknya okay? Ya udah sapu semua. Sehingga yang lain nanti sisa-sisa aja. Okay? Ya, but again, once I do this, people starting to do it already. So I'm now thinking of the next wave already. Okay? So we always have to be at least half a curve ahead lah. Ya, okay? Dan that's the fun part kan. That's the fun part kan. Ya, okay? Yuk, silakan apa lagi. Ya, kebetulan saya punya simple ya, saya punya simple. Some of yours are much more complex than mine, ya, and some of your businesses not so easy to pivot around COVID. Ya, oke, silakan apa lagi. Thank you.
Ya, dan mungkin sebelum melanjutkan nih Marta penasaran. Nah, tadi kan katanya usahanya gampang banget nih dari offline ke online gitu ya. Nah, itu apakah ada strategi yang beda nggak sih dari sebelum ada pandemi COVID-19 ini, Pak James?
Oke, ada. Karena saya paham the nature of my business ya, saya paham. Let me explain to you, let me share with you. Ya, it's sharing lah, not so much explaining, sharing ya. Business saya, the nature of the business kan training, ya, training dan selalu trainingnya di hotel dan sebagainya. Okay? Dan for the last 26 years of conducting training, 80% of my clients are corporate clients. Okay? Perusahaan yang undang saya. Ya, perusahaan yang undang saya, ya, perusahaan asuransi yang undang saya, pusat lah yang undang saya, ya, perusahaan MLM yang undang saya, PLN, Telcoms, Automotive, and all that, ya, hotels, those big organizations, ya, they invite me, okay? They invite me for in-house training, ataupun kalau saya ada public seminar, ya, perusahaan yang bayar tiket tapi kirim karyawannya yang ikut training. Okay, so the decision makers are the corporates and the people who pay are the companies who pay. Karyawannya just come because the companies pay. Okay, right? Now, with this COVID, suddenly companies kan activity drop to almost standstill. So companies don't need training. Betul kan? Ngapain gua train karyawannya? Satu, social distancing tidak memungkinkan. Kalaupun pakai Zoom, karyawan gua mau diapain ya? Betul kan? I don't need them to be trained. Kalaupun sekarang saya train, mereka pintar, tapi COVID 9 bulan sampai balik ke kantor kan udah lupa semua. Betul kan ya? Ngapain train? So, companies in general don't need training. Kecuali companies yang insurance company, life insurance, tetap jualan continue. Betul ya? Network marketing tetap jualan continue. Some companies tetap jualan continue, but by and large companies stop training. Okay? But then companies stop training, berarti employees and executives stay at home. Nah, orang-orang yang stay at home, suddenly they have so much time, idle time. They say, I want to learn something lah. Betul kan ya? Mumpung gua ada waktu, I learn something dong. I want to learn something, okay? Berarti sekarang yang want to learn something itu bukan atas permintaan dan instruksi perusahaan, tapi individunya. So I want to learn something so that I come out from COVID more knowledgeable, more skilled or whatever. Okay, satu. I want to learn something so that with this skill and mindset, I can make some money on my own during COVID period. Okay? I want to learn something supaya gua nggak karatan, biar gua nggak bosan di rumah. Betul ya? Those are the few reasons. Nah, kalau individual want to learn something, berarti topik yang gue pilih buat dia akan ada sedikit berbeda dengan kalau topik yang dipilih oleh perusahaan buat karyawannya belajar. Betul kan ya? Okay? So I have to be sensitive. Orang yang stay at home dalam kondisi kayak gini yang mau belajar, kira-kira dia perlu knowledge apa sih? So I have to think of the topics that are relevant to the individuals. Okay? Number two, kalau perusahaan bayar, lu kasih murah-murah fee-nya, perusahaan akan ragu. Training 1 hari, 300.000. Pasti kacang-kacangan. Betul kan? Kalau perusahaan bayar, training sehari, 300.000. Kacang-kacangan ini mah. Nggak usah lah buang-buang waktu. Oke? Kalau training setengah hari di Jakarta, jauh-jauh pergi training hanya setengah hari. Macet aja udah setengah hari. Betul ya? Mau belajar apa setengah hari? Betul? Jadi kalau company yang training, durasinya harus agak panjangan, fee-nya harus mahal. Baru, ini 2 juta baru masuk akal lah. Betul kan ya? 300.000 kacangan lah. Betul ya? Nah, tapi kalau individual yang bayar, lu kasih dia lihat 2 juta, COVID lagi, lemas dia. Lemas. Jadi gua harus tahu harga psikologisnya. Harga psikologisnya di bawah 500.000. Oke, karena dari kantong pribadi. Oke, dan gue mau dia ikut berulang-ulang. Maka gue lepas 15 topik, kalau dia ikut satu topik, duitnya udah habis kan, repot kita. Jadi saya turunin fee-nya to a psychologically accepted fee, 380,000. People look at 380,000, how long? 4 hours. Wow, 4 hours, 380,000. Okay lah, I'll pay. Okay, so you see, I change. Martha, to answer your question, I change not only from offline to online. I change also the topics that I teach to suit their needs. I change also the fee structure to suit their situation. I changed so many things in one move from offline to online. But I changed everything in the whole packaging. That was what worked. Okay, and how could I change that? Because I more or less understood my customers, right? Yeah, that's how it works. Okay, that's for me. Yeah, maybe the same principles may help you. Okay, thank you Martha. Semoga terjawab ya.
Siap, keren banget. Selanjutnya ada pertanyaan, boleh dinyalain video dari Mulyandi Nasution. Silakan.
Halo, selamat malam.
Malam, halo, malam. Woi, ini sebelum COVID sudah berjenggotan dan berewokan atau gara-gara COVID?
Sebelum COVID sudah berjenggot, cuman makin panjang ini.
Keren. Ada orang
Oke.
seperti saya mau kayak gini juga nggak bisa. DNA-nya beda, bro.
Mesti pakai obat dulu Pak James.
Oh iya, pakai obat ya. Oke. Silakan,
Ya.
silakan.
Mesti pakai obat kalau nggak bisa. Oke, Pak James, saya mau explore soal priority. Jadi kan kalau kita bicara bukunya Seven Habit ya, itu kan ada yang namanya Circle of Influence. Jadi
Yes.
as we grow, kita akan our circle of influence will getting bigger.
Yes.
First, we become our leader ourselves, our
Yeah.
family, our community, and so on and so forth.
Right.
And then our priority will become higher and more complex, Pak.
Yes.
Bahkan saya pernah baca dulu buku, saya lupa dari mana. Itu even bukunya agak ini ya, very sangat strong. Title-nya dia bilang priority is only for stable people.
Oke.
Jadi buat orang stabil aja Pak katanya yang punya hak untuk bikin list priority lah istilahnya gitu. Sementara kalau kayak orang miskin susah Pak mau priority mana antara kesehatan mereka, perut mereka, keluarga mereka dan segala macam. So how to mentally cope this Pak James?
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, if we combine that priority, circle of influence, and back to management 101, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Yeah, they still have that priority kan. Cuma that 5 levels of priority kan. So the poorer ones, the higher priority is in the physiological needs kan. Okay, and so on, and it goes up. Yeah. So yes, actually, without their realizing it, they have that priority. Ya, oke. Dan kadang-kadang kita sebagai leader lupa priority mereka sama priority kita beda. Ya, karena they are at different levels of that need. Okay, yeah. Yes. So yes, I agree with you. The higher level some person is, circle of influence-nya wider, jadi it gets more complex. Yeah, it gets more complex. Therefore, at a certain point, I don't know whether it's right or wrong, but speaking from my experience, I think the more mature you get, the more you learn when to not give a damn. Betul nggak? Do you agree?
Betul.
After a certain point, you can say, these are the few things that are important, the rest to hell with it. Betul kan ya? I don't care what they say, they want to screw up, I don't care. As long as these few things work, I'm fine with it. Okay? Kalau kita mau care everything, you go crazy. Okay? So, I mean, priority sometimes means when to really push to make sure there's no mistakes and when to say, udahlah, close one eye lah. Ya kan? To me, that's the interpretation of priority. Knowing what to not let go and knowing when to say, ya udahlah. Yeah. That helps me. That helps me to keep my balance. And that helps me to say, I cannot be involved in too many things. I don't want to be involved in too many things. Ya, okay ya. Dulu, lu tahu nggak? Dia bilang gua gini, oh ya. Sekarang tahu nggak? Ya udahlah, so what? Gitu, okay ya. So I like the lyrics from a song by Alan Jackson. Yeah, the older I get. Go look for the song. Alan Jackson, the older I get. Yeah. One of the lines of the song is, the older I get, the better I get at knowing when to give and knowing when to not give a damn. I like the lyrics. I repeat, yeah. The older I get, the better I am at knowing when to give and when to not give a damn. Okay, yeah. Beautiful lyrics. I think that helps, brother. I think that helps. Yeah, okay. Thanks a lot. I hope it helps you. Yeah, I hope it covers your question. Thanks.
It's a common thing. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Thanks, Pak Andri. Mata lu silent, lu mute mata.
Sorry, kelupaan. Ya, ini mau berapa pertanyaan lagi atau berapa nih Pak James enaknya? Atau sampai jam berapa?
Terserah lah.
Sampai 8.30.
Ya.
8.30 sekarang udah 8.30 nih.
Mungkin dari itu kita ke rumah Pak Andri aja makan bakminya dia terakhir.
Padahal nih pertanyaannya masih banyak sih. Satu lagi.
Satu lagi, oke.
Oke, satu lagi ya dari Andre Yanuarsia. Boleh tanya langsung, silakan.
Hi James. Thanks for your time
Hi Andre,
sharing.
how are you?
Good. How are you going?
Good. I'm good. I'm good.
That's good. Yeah, thanks for your time and sharing your knowledge. It was really good. Just a quick question. I read the book by Alex Ferguson about leadership because he was
Yeah.
the best manager in football
Yes.
history. He mentioned that being a good leader means knowing how to delegate, not doing everything by your own,
Absolutely.
and knowing how to motivate and bring the best out of your team.
Yep.
Now, the questions that I have is I've been trying to sort of apply that to my parents' business and myself, like personal life and everything. How do we find the right balance when, because as you will know, training people requires a lot of investment in terms of effort and time and potentially money as well. How do you find the balances when you say enough is enough, like knowing that this person is not, sorry to say, but it's not worth investing further because you just don't see them being able or capable of doing the things that you want them to be or you expect them to be?
Thanks a lot. It's a very good question. We can cover it from many angles. Okay. Alex Ferguson has a slightly different situation from us. He has a slightly different advantage to us. Okay. In the sense that the players he gets are already professionals. And they already have a professional attitude towards professional football. Right. Okay. The players that he has are those people who have dreamed all their lives to become football stars. You know, they have that drive, the fire, and the basic ingredients to have made it to the top. Anybody who has made it into Manchester United is already the cream of the crop, and that means he has at his disposal 30 of the best players in the world with absolutely the right work ethics that brought them there. Right? He's got that. Yeah. Of course, he's got the mixed culture thing, the arrogance, the ego, and all that he can easily. But the basic drive, passion, ethos, he's got it already. You and I don't have it from the people in our office. Right? So that's a different thing. Yeah, that's a totally different thing. So it's much harder. Okay. That being said, number one. Okay. Number two. You and I know that the success of a person is a combination of his attitude and his aptitude. Betul kan ya? Yeah, his basic IQ. Basic IQ-nya harus ada. I mean, kalau basic IQ-nya nggak ada kan is beyond anything reasonable kan ya? Okay? So you've got to measure somebody's IQ, and we've got to face reality. Okay? God created everybody equal. Yes, God created everybody equal, but he did not make everybody equally intelligent. Right? Okay. Yeah. Some people are intelligent, some people less intelligent, but are given different talents. In that sense, he makes everybody equal, but he did not make everybody equally intelligent to learn. Okay, so we have to accept reality. Some people are just more higher IQ to learn, some people lower IQ to learn. Okay, some people have a higher drive to succeed, some people have a lower drive to succeed. Some people are prepared to work very hard to succeed. Some people have a very low threshold to pain kan ya. Dikit aja udah sakit. Some people have a very high threshold to pain. You push them and they still can go harder. Betul kan ya? Okay. Some people ketusuk jarum, mau tusuk sampai sedalam apa dia bisa tahan. Ada orang tercolek sedikit aja jerit. Betul kan? So some people have a lower threshold to pain, yes, and suffering. Okay. Nah, itu semua harus diukur dulu. The IQ, the knowledge, the threshold to suffering, the motivation to succeed, itu semua diukur dulu. And then you decide who is motivated enough and driven enough to go forward, and also has the basic intelligence to absorb new knowledge and skills kan. Ada orang mau terus tapi ajar dia blank. Gimana mau ajar? Ada orang pintar yang setengah mati tapi bapaknya kaya. Dia ke kantor bawa Ferrari. Lu mau motivate dia apa? Dia nggak bakalan miskin. Betul kan? And so on. Ya. So you have to find out the drive and all that. Put that all together. The drive, the motivation, the profile, the knowledge, the skills, the IQ. Put that all together. Then we can see who comes into that matrix. And then from
Okay.
that matrix baru, that's why some people are selected for officers training, some people are not, kan. One batch of 10,000 soldiers, 5% go to officers training, and they have a system of selecting the officers, kan. Right? And then they invest the time and the money on training the officers. Okay, I hope I've answered your question, Andre.
So what you're saying is you have a system to sort of filter that those people that you think will be capable, and then you invest in those time. Okay, cool.
Yes, looking at the Singapore, the reason why because one of the reasons is because we are smaller, I guess, but the reason why is we seem to be able to manage things is because right from the beginning, the ministers are selected from the cream of the crop. Okay, the best of the best will go into government service. The best of the best. So let me share with you this, The Singapore government's philosophy is, right from the beginning, is the best quality brains must serve the government. Therefore, the government pays a lot of money to the ministers. Because if these guys are not ministers, they are chairman of banks. Betul kan ya? They are chairmen of DBS, chairman of OCBC. They get a lot more, So we've got to get those people to become ministers. Echelon 1, supaya bisa manage the rest of the KW2, KW3 kan?
Okay.
Tapi kalau di dunia luar KW1 semua dan pemerintah KW3, setiap hari dikadalin kan pemerintah? Betul nggak? I mean the government lawyer must be the best lawyer to defend. Okay? Jangan sampai the government lawyer, prosecution lawyer is KW2 and the criminal has the best lawyer. So the criminal gets away every day. See, so we must have a system to attract the best into the government supaya yang not the best itu di swasta. That's why the government is always on top of things because we have the best in the government. Dan orang yang nggak ngerti, gila bayarnya mahal-mahal. Dia sudah sacrifice dia jadi menteri. Kalau dia jadi chairman di bank, gajinya 2 kali lipat. Okay, so I've answered your question. I hope, they have a system.
Thank you.
Of
All good. Thanks.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Thanks a lot, Andre. Seru ya?
Oke, seru banget. Terima kasih untuk Pak James Gui. Ada closing statement nggak terakhir nih Pak James?
Ada closing statement enggak? Ya, closing statement adalah if you are a true leader, you are excited with this situation. Okay, if you are a true leader, you are excited with this situation because you are thinking of possibilities and in your mind, this can be done, that can be done. And kalau belum ketemu, lu pasti gregetan dengan diri sendiri because you are supposed to be a leader. Okay, so you don't have to have all the answers, but you must be able to give hope. Thank you.
Thank you.
By the way, yes. If I may, just want to share something that my son is doing. My number 2 son is 22 years old. Number 3 is 18 years old. Through this COVID, they decided to do something. So together, the two of them, the brothers, put together a simple puzzle, and they want to raise funds to donate to charity. So they created this. Not rocket science, they're just a box of masker, 3 botol hand sanitizer, 2 goggles, priced at $350. If you want to buy them, they will be very, very happy and they will donate the money to charity. Okay, that's the big packet, 350. Second packet, sorry, I don't know whether I shared that with you. Okay, that's the big package here, 350,000 rupiah, 350,000 rupiah. Ini paket yang ini. Yang kecil, ini paket yang kecil. Paket yang kecil terdiri dari 3 hand sanitizer, 1 goggle, hanya 75,000 saja. The more complete packet is this, 350,000. Okay, so I hope you can just take a screenshot or photograph, take note of his WhatsApp number. And if you find it in yourself to want to buy something to support them, I'll be really, really grateful. Okay, so just let them know what packet you want and how many pieces of each you want. Okay, that is just their youthful way to support charity, and I hope you can just play a part. Okay, that's it from me.
Oh,
Thank you
yeah.
so much to my colleague Desi.
Untuk-
Thanks for being with us the whole night. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Semoga
thank you.
semua bisa menginspirasi ya. Pak James, ini kan ada banyak banget pertanyaan yang belum dijawab ya. Boleh ntar kalau misalnya mau tanya-tanya mau di mana nih? Gimana caranya? Apa ikut
Kalau
kelasnya
bisa
Pak James gitu?
Kalau bisa di-compile dan mungkin Pak Johnny bisa WhatsApp to me, ya, and probably I answer you as best as I can. Okay? Yeah. We can do
Thank
that.
you.
No worries.
Oke, thank you so much Pak James atas
Yuk.
waktunya dan partisipasinya. Terima kasih. Sukses terus. Bye.
Thank you Pak Johnny. Thank you very much Pak.
Ya.
Thank you.
Oh, ya.
Pak, mungkin bisa di-sharekan poster untuk teman-teman, mungkin ada yang ingin ikut seminar online-nya, Pak.
Sorry, say again.
Mungkin ada teman-teman yang ingin ikut seminar online-nya, mungkin bisa di-sharekan posternya, Pak.
Oh ya, oke.
Ya.
Seminar online saya ya, yang seminar online dalam waktu dekat sudah selesai semua. The next one will be in June. I tell you what guys, okay, do me a favor. This is what we do, okay, because I've not prepared the brochure, don't want to take up too much of your time. Please follow my Instagram,
Oh, oke.
yeah, DM to me, and I will give you the information, okay? Or
Okay.
Pak Johnny, if you want to share my WhatsApp number to everybody. Share my WhatsApp
Okay.
number to everybody, and everybody WhatsApp to me lah, ya.
Oke,
Simple as
thank
that.
you banget Pak. Sangat banyak dapat insight pada malam hari ini. Thank you juga ada Pak Alex yang sudah bergabung dari awal.
Alex,
Halo
thank
Pak
you,
Alex.
Alex.
Thank you Pak Alex dari BP Lestari. Ini juga mengisi di awal banget di Zoom meeting kita. Thank you Pak. Seperti kata Pak James, memang leader yang hebat dilahirkan dari sebuah krisis. Jadi semoga dari krisis ini semua member GCIS Java, semua leader-leader di GCIS Java bisa membawa timnya masing-masing menjadi jauh lebih hebat. Bukan hanya bisa bertahan di masa COVID ini, tapi ternyata COVID ini bisa membuat kita improve, mencapai titik yang belum pernah kita dapatkan. Thank you banget Pak James, sangat motivasi. Sampai jumpa dan sehat selalu Pak James.
Yep. Thank you. Take care.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you teman-teman. Jangan lupa di-post di Instagram GCIS Java, di tag @GCIS Java dan tag @James Kui. Thank you. Sampai jumpa di
Ya, dan
acara
jangan
besok.
lupa, ya besok ada
Di acara
Hendy.
besok ada Zoom meeting sama Hendy yang moderatorin oleh VP Dialubis yang sudah standby.
Soalnya nggak ada lagi VPN cewek.
Oh ya. Oke, sampai jumpa
Saja.
teman-teman.
Thank you.
Thank you, Java. Keren.
Thank you, bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, LP.
Thank you.
Thank you, LP. Thank
Thank
you.
you, NP.
Jais Java.
Thank you. Ya.